So if you're concerned about missing opportunities by niching down, this video is about the opportunities you're going to miss by not niching down. So let's imagine that somebody is an expert in a particular area, and I'll use web design because I'm fairly familiar with that. Let's imagine that you're a small web agency, you know how to build websites, you know design in Photoshop, Sketch, whatever. You understand how to do graphic design, you've got the tools and the processes laid out for that, and for developing WordPress websites for the sake of argument. Now, so for all of these, you have a set of tools. And your set of tools is fine for doing your B2B websites, so your little brochure websites like another agency might use. It's fine for doing an e-com website. It is fine for doing, let's say, an education website. And that's at bottom level. You've kind of built those up and you've got some skills in using the tools, but you spread yourself around, and the opportunity to just make some cash from picking up clients in each of these areas unfortunately keeps people on this flat bottom rung. Now, the next level up is what I call processes. Now, in a very broad term, the process of designing, building a website looks on the face of it quite similar. But there are subtle differences. For example, in a B2B site, it might be much more about lead gen. On an e-com site, you will have things to do with processing transactions and money. On an education website, there will be issues of keeping the content safe and managing membership, for example. So straight away, you're using the same tools, but you're doing different things with them every time, and this takes an enormous amount of effort to do. So you're being hamstrung by the fact that you're not repeating these, and by not repeating them, you can never refine them, document them, and hand them off to other members of your team. And ultimately, if you're trying to get out of the one-to-one process, what you want to be doing is taking this documentation and handing it out to people outside of your team to teach them how to do it themselves, charge for that, and free yourself up from this work, which is all one-to-one. So it's all building assets for other people. Now, there's a few other things that you miss out on as well. If you work within one of these individual areas, after a while, you're going to really understand the pain points from those customers. So yesterday, I worked with a client who we work with in our university space, and they did a webinar, and about half an hour of that was talking about the problems that Chinese students who want to come to the UK have got right now. These are anything to do with flights being cancelled, they're to do with exam centres being closed, they're to do with the fact that they are worried about coming into a coronavirus zone just as China is exiting it, so they don't feel that we're as safe as they are now. All sorts of things. And these only come because we've got 5 or 6 clients in that area, or the agency I'm talking about has 5 or 6 clients in that area that we share with them, and they have dozens. Okay, so they really know about these pain points, and they can talk about those endlessly. So this will give them case studies and examples to talk about. So if we had a case study in B2B and we had a case study in education, unfortunately, these guys are not interested in the case studies from each other. They don't believe that the examples that you've got in one sector actually carry over to another one. So all of this stuff down here, you know, that you have built up, which is common, they don't really care about that because you can't convince them that you have a solution that will work for them. If you have any part of this missing, they'll believe that the solution isn't complete. So what you need to start thinking about is that by going into one niche, you're able to build up this set of tools, processes that you can refine and repeat, the pain points that you understand in that market, and the case studies and examples in this area. Now, this is very interesting because there's a saying that if you have 2 customers in one sector, then you have a conflict of interest. But as soon as you have 3, you're an industry specialist. And that number 3 is very important in terms of where you want to get to in terms of the number of case studies that you've got and how quickly you can get there and the effect that that will have on your business. So I'm going to talk about that rule of 3 in our next video. To get there, go to stephenprattley.com, sign up for the email list, and you'll get a notification when we post that video up and explain how that rule of 3 really has an impact on you achieving expertise in a niche and how it will skyrocket your ability to stop doing one-to-one work and to move into selling these processes so that other people can do it themselves and you can get on with the very high value work, which is much more about understanding the marketplace and building up more case studies and consolidating that lead that you have again and again and again. Okay, hope that's been useful in and of itself. Sign up for the emails or subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching on there, and I'll catch you when the next video comes out.